driver. You didn't get a chance to experience.
Problem front straightaway.
Oh, big hit.
Hard hit for Dylan Lupton.
First caution of the day.
Battling just outside the top.
Sorry about that, guys. You okay, bud? Yeah.
He was running just outside the top 20 when they came off turn 4, and
big series of marks down the front stretch here. We'll have to see if he maybe had a little bit of help here. This is not a spot where you would expect the car to spin out.
yeah, he said sorry guys, almost like it was his fault. Maybe changing lanes or let's just see if we can figure it out. There's his teammate Kaz Grala. Came down, right?
Yes, he got a little bit of help from the 39, Ryan Sieg.
Can see right at the start finish line.
It's hard to say from the view whether the 39 got into him or the 28 came down. Here you see the big hit at the end, right on the safer barrier. Thank God for that, Michael.
Oh, no kidding. You and I both hit concrete before, and it's just amazing the energy it takes away from hitting the wall.
Frustration for Dylan. We went side by side with that last commercial break, so you were able to witness what is brought out. The fourth caution flag of the day here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Problems for rookie driver Austin Cindric.
Down on the low side, Adam, 3 wide around the lap car, and I guess he's just going to lose the nose and bounces. Just bounces up into the side of Tommy Joe Martins. And then that turned his car right around.
Had the early crash at Daytona. Bounced back with a solid effort last weekend at Atlanta. But an early exit again for the driver out of Mooresville, North Carolina.
Now, Michael, we've seen 2 wrecks today, and both of them, they've hit the wall in areas you would have never thought we'd hit the wall. So thank you to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for putting safer barriers. We saw Jeff Gordon hit there, I think it was 2008, and it was a massive hit before there was a safer barrier there. So thank you, Bruton Smith and the SMI team, for making the investment on behalf of all the drivers, because those hits can hurt, and that safer get in fuel. So he's got to make a tough decision.
Goes out, safe.
Caution.
Down the back, rolling down the back up top.
Well, this changes everything. You got 15 cars on the lead lap. It's our 5th caution of the afternoon.
I think Ryan Reed possibly, Adam, came off turn 4. We saw contact with that outside wall. I was amazed at the composite body. It didn't cave the tire in. I don't know if this is a result of that, but definitely a right front tire.
So now the question becomes, with 14 drivers, 15 on the lead lap, do you pit here? Because you know these caution laps likely are going to get you on the positive side of the fuel game.
Yeah, you have to pit here. Too much of an advantage here with tires. The tires will give you so much speed that it'll be worth more than the track position from staying out. So I would look for everyone up front to pit who is not a lap down. If I'm a lap down car, I might consider a wave around here. But other than that, yes, I would say the whole field will pit.
And you know what I think also is,
Fight for 3rd.
that's a beautiful sight, isn't it? Ross Chastain is turned.
He saved it.
Caution's out.
Caution's out. Keep rolling, keep rolling.
Whew.
Flat tires, 4 flat tires.
Well, that's a break for Reddick. He can try again. That restart didn't work well for him.
Yeah. He's going to try it again from 5th and not this time from the race lead. Here's what happened to Chastain.
Adam, I was just getting to say this is a beautiful sight, isn't it? These cars all spread out, but Chastain comes up the track a bit, gets hooked, and watch this.
Saves it.
And he let off the brake perfectly in order to keep going straight. Great job of driving. Is that the 24 of Grala that makes contact with Chastain?
Yeah, I think he came up on the 24 right here, Michael. It's of course hard to tell with the angles, but I don't think he knew he was 3 wide.
Kyle Busch was just in front of them. He took the wave around under that last caution to get to 1 lap down, and I do believe driver 18 in position for the...
Oh, got to blow up entering turn 3.
That's the 52 of David Starr. Caution is out for the first time this afternoon, just past this midway point, stage number 1.
Those burgers are well done, I think.
Flame Royal, right?
Ah, yeah, a little flame, smoke. Makes me hungry.
I'm curious on strategy here. These teams have 3 sets of tires in the pits for the race. And if it goes green, it's just kind of a no-brainer. If you're running good, you're going to pit at the end of stage 1, pit at the end of stage 2, and you have a set left to manage for that final 100 laps or so of the race. Now the caution comes out. Do you pit here, get tires, stay out through the end of stage 1 to the end of stage 2? Man, there's a lot of questions maybe to be answered here.
Well, there's a lot of calculators and brain power going on down on pit road, too, trying to figure out those scenarios, Adam. Hey, you know, Ryan, we talked about how you could damage the front of your car.
Back to the top 5 and problems for the 15. Into the wall. It's going to be our 4th caution of the day.
Go in the garage when everybody gets caught up.
That's Matt Mills from Lynchburg, Virginia.
He was already off the pace, Adam. I think they'd been to the garage area and worked on that car and came back out and slipped up into the outside wall.
A lot to think about here. We're under caution. 7 laps to go in the stage. Rain is on the way. And here's what happened to Mills.
I'm not sure if something broke. You saw the left front locked up there. If he had a flat right front tire, maybe. I'm not really sure what happened to that race car, but didn't slow down like he should.
Stage, Elliott Sadler's car is coming on.
The Junior Motorsports cars look very, very strong right now, like you said. And what I see about them, they can run the wall very well.
Stay low down here off 2. Stay low off 2.
4 to go. First caution of the afternoon. I say 4 to go. That's in stage 1, obviously. And the caution is out for the 15 of Matt Mills.
Stand by, Larry.
What are we going to see here, Larry? Pit
I
now?
don't see, but you have but one choice. No matter where you're running, we know you have.
We all get. Larry McReynolds down in the Hollywood Hotel. He wants to come into pit road, get him some tires. I'm up here thinking let's have a battle, a 1-lap shootout. But I don't think they're going to get the track cleared up in time for that to happen at this break. But man, stage racing has added so many different elements to the NASCAR. I'm going to go with B. Reddick's just coming because of the groove he's running.
That story sounds a lot better, you know.
That running an inch off the wall is something that you probably would like to do in the last 20 laps of the race, running the leader down.
Back it down behind you. Caution's out.
Oh, no, the 42. Something happened
See where
here.
you're going here. Just stay on the apron. Stay on the apron.
Looks like his
Bring
right
the pit
front
road this
tire.
time. If you stop, then we'll be done for the race.
He had slipped back to the 18th position, guys, with that vibration. He knew he had an issue. You can see the right front tire flapping there, in the fenders and hood peeled away.
So my guess is what John Hunter was feeling was some kind of a tire degradation. Maybe the cords were coming apart on the tire. Usually you get a little bit of a warning, but then when they let go big. You can see it. It's going to blow up here on the front straightaway and just disintegrate the hood and the right front fender of this car.
There you can see it taking place right down the front straightaway. And that's as good a place to have it happen as anywhere, I guess. You know, if that happens going down into the corner, more momentum into the outside wall, so he's able to keep it off the wall.
Oh, you can see it just destroying the car, the belt on the tire coming apart.
Wow.
That's a great slip.
Under caution for the 3rd time today. Christopher Bell going for a ride down the front straightaway.
Well, this ought to be exciting.
Corner, clear. Clear by 2. Go by 2. By 1 in line. Half back bottom. Inside. Inside. Line something.
Whoa, really fortunate to slide back out
Caution's out. Caution's out.
toward the track. That inside wall for the pit was just there. Just jumps over the cushion. I talked about debris and rubber right out next to the wall. I think he just got a little too close to it there.
And look how close he gets to the inside wall, right at that opening. That would have been a massive hit at that speed. Wow.
The grass is flying, but it doesn't look like it did much damage to the race car.
I don't think any. He'll come in, get 4 tires, have to charge from the back.
He's got a fast car. He's got to pass cars as quickly as he can and try to get to the front. Whoa, he's making contact right there. We got a big wreck with the 5 and the 20.
Michael Annette, contact in that outside lane with Christopher Bell, and our 4th caution of the day.
That's that trouble spot we were talking about, Michael. The exit at turn 4, the 5 car came up in front of the 20 and put both of them in the wall. Heavy damage to both cars.
Yeah, no damage last time for Bell when he had the spin, but plenty of it here. Damage earlier today for John Hunter Nemechek when he had the tire problem. They were able to get it repaired and stay on the racetrack.
The 5 car just slides up in front of him, puts both of them in the fence here, and they get stuck together.
Yeah, the 5 of Annette was having a steady run just outside the top 10 most all day long, and he just slid up too far. Wasn't anything that Christopher Bell could do. The door was closed.
That was the battle for 8th.
Visor cam.
Up top, keep coming low, keep coming low, keep coming low, stay in it. Keep coming low here, keep coming low, keep coming. Keep coming, tosses up.
Ah, that's a bummer. Like I was saying right when he wrecked, that he needed to make every move he can as fast as he can. And he was making a great move right here, and it just sometimes it doesn't have to be your fault if you're Christopher Bell. This one wasn't your fault, but it's part of racing.
Restarted 13th after that spin. Brad, you said it, he had worked his way inside the top 10. Unfortunately, not going to get the finish today. He was looking for a 4th consecutive top 5 run, Michael.
And you know, we talked earlier, Brad, you said it's really hard to see out the right side of these cars. He was so far down on the bottom of the track when he started up the hill, and Bell was right out against the outside wall. I don't know if Michael didn't see him or if the spotter didn't clear him, but certainly was one of those perfect storms for a couple of guys to
Didn't they?
Wow, that's great action.
Dylan Lupton in the 28, backup car. After a crash in qualifying, makes it to pit road.
Yeah, smoke out the exhaust pipes.
And there's the caution.
I don't know what.
Yeah, the NASCAR officials had no choice but to throw the yellow there. There could be oil all over the track. So
usually when you see exhaust out the exhaust pipe or smoke out the exhaust pipe, it's some kind of a cylinder head failure, water, or something of that nature, head gasket.
You know, he had done a really good job in that backup car. It was in the top 20.
yeah, nice job. He had recovered from that qualifying wreck, and then the engine just explodes there on the 28 car. Tough.
Brings it back to the start-finish line. He wins at Auto Club Speedway.
That's what I'm talking about. Feels good to finally win again.
Oh, wreck down the front stretch.
That's Gralla. What a hit.
Battling for 14th.
And another torn-up race car for JGL. We've seen it for Dylan Lupton a couple of times out west, and Gralla that close to finishing this race in the top 15 and doing it cleanly. Unfortunately, 14th.
The 24 has a little bit of a run on the 11 car. At the same time, he has a car underneath them. Contact's made, and just one of those final lap racing deals here.
And look at that grass rip that nose off the 24 car.
Gets a little air in the process. You see the radiators torn out. That's what all that smoke and fluid is coming out of.
That's a shame to have a car that close to the checkered flag, and now you're going to need a rollback to get it home.
Allgaier did win the battle back to the line for.
To the corner is so far around there, and it's so important to get that arc. Oh, look.
Trouble early. That's the 40 of Chad Fincham.
Doesn't look like any damage to Fincham's car.
Did a good job keeping it out of the wall.
Looped it. Well, that restart that these drivers have been waiting and anticipating and nervous about for so long, they get to line up and do it all over again.
One more time.
And you know what I saw there, Adam, was the guys on the outside were really staying down on the doors of the guy on the inside, getting those cars loose, but there's just not enough room not to crowd them, huh?
Yeah, he was way up out of the groove already. You could see he was probably chasing it early into the corner and finally got out from underneath them. But what a great job keeping it out of the wall. Saved their day for he and his team.
Couple of cars up there. You wonder if maybe is that the 55 of Stephen Light there that was up there with him? Maybe they
Stephen Light
made a little contact on entry, possibly.
Good news for a handful of drivers that we bunch them up again. Those that dropped to the rear. Kevin Harvick started dead last.
Just an extremely fast. Oh,
and there goes Jamie McMurray for a ride through the infield grass. Second caution of the day, and we're not even 10 laps in. He was 7th when it got away from him.
I think maybe we talked about the cautions we might see early in the going this morning during qualifying, just knowing how tough these conditions are. And I love what Boyer said. The cars are stuck really good until they're not. And you can see Jamie just gets loose, gets a little bit of contact that outside wall. And Clint, all day yesterday long in practice, we saw that car nervous looking through the corners. He just doesn't have a good grip on the track.
It's just an extremely fast racetrack and very aero dependent. When he was behind him, it seemed like he got crossed up in the wake of that car in front of him, and away it went. Took the air off him just enough, and he lost it.
That's a nice effort, though, to save that thing. I mean, I don't have a state of comparison because I've never driven one of these race cars, but it sure looks impressive.
Yeah, he did a good job. and we did it. I'm glad that the grass is short enough. It didn't hurt the splitter. He's going to live to see some more of this race.
Yeah.
For the 01 of Vinnie Miller.
The 16 has his hands full. He was glad that this caution came out. He's been wheeling that thing, pushed out to the outside and was holding on to it out there. Man, these guys are being aggressive. I like this.
You know, yesterday we talked, Clint, and this morning again about the toughness of this racetrack, the differing banks in both corners, the wind blowing, the cold temperatures. I thought we were overselling it about all the crashes and wrecks we could see today, but we can't get our legs under us. We just keep having crashes.
No, as I started to see this forecast moving into my day in the booth, I was looking forward to it. It's a lot better to be up here right now.
We're averaging a caution every 5 laps. The most recent victim of Texas Motor Speedway, Vinnie Miller.
And you can see how fast the speeds are here. I mean, you back it in here and it ruins your day for sure.
Updating the progress of those drivers that started in the back because they did make just over halfway through our second stage here at Texas Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 5th caution of the afternoon for driver 23 Spencer Gallagher.
Whoa.
Just got pulled around there.
And you know, I think that is a perfect example of, you said earlier, you're gripped, you have grip until you don't. That car was stuck, he was hauling, then around it.
Stake a little bit. It looks like Jones's might be a little bit.
Caution number 6, second time we've seen it for the 40 of Chad Fincham. Last time he was able to keep it off the wall. Not so fortunate this time. Destroyed.
Man, he
at number 40.
He ripped his whole back window out.
That's just too bad. You hate to see that. You know, that team's brought everything they had to this race. Just had his hands full.
Yeah, he said he was okay. He's getting out now.
With 10 to go on the stage, by the time they get this cleaned up, I like our little.
That's the way it'll handle.
Oh, absolutely. Whoa, that's
one in the wall. That's Brandon Jones. 1 stage 2, lost the track position after pitting.
Talk about chaos. That's just par for the course. Win your stage, and the next thing you know, you're wrecked. Unfortunate.
Saw Ryan Sieg sliding through the grass there as well in the 39 car. He's going to be able to get back on the road, but that looks like the day is done for Brandon Jones.
A lot of damage there.
It was so funny. I was watching Tifton Reddick. They were right there, almost to hit, and then in the background you saw him go around.
Kaz Gralla with some big damage. It looks like Jones just gets loose.
Just chasing it, really, really loose. It's amazing, that wall. Did you see that thing move? Every time I see a wreck anymore as a race car driver, sure appreciate whoever built and designed that thing.
It makes me want to hug them. I mean, I know how hard that concrete is and that technology. Look at the job Sieg does. He just,
yeah, he did.
He said, I got to lock her down and go the other way, and what a great move. It's like trouble for Kaz Gralla. Is that Alex Labay as well?
Alex Labay went through the grass, yeah, ripped up his left front. When it happens on a restart, no one is really out of danger because everything is so tight, and we saw it there. And